Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
What are you watching?
All right, so before we get into some watches, we gotta do some more CinemaCon stuff. We forgot to Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers also had a CinemaCon, and it was pretty lackluster.
Warner Brothers continually seems like it's running a Ponzi scheme.
Before the convention, they promised to show like a lot of stuff in the future, but they really focused strictly on this year. It started off by Ryan Coogler just giving a brief message about Sinners with the trailer, and then they highlighted the success of Minecraft movie, and then they moved right into Leo, Regina Hall, and Tiana Taylor coming out to do one battle after another. They showed basically the scene in the trailer where he answers the phone. They showed that scene in full with a extended trailer. Mm-hmm. And they everybody pretty much agreed the trailer that they released to the public does a disservice for that movie, because everything here that they showed at CinemaCon, everybody keeps saying this movie's big, this movie's funny, this movie's action-packed, and it looks like it'll be a crowd pleaser. Because that trailer, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm excited to see the movie, but the trailer was underwhelming. I was like, I don't see where 140, 150 went.
Right. I mean, it looked like a P.T. Anderson film, but I was underwhelmed. I was by what I saw, but knowing what the concept is, I'm still on board. But yeah, it was yeah.
So excited to see the movie. Drops in September. And then New Line president came out. Richard Brenner came out to highlight some horror films that are coming out. First was Final Destination Bloodlines. They showed a sequence involving an MRI and peanut allergies. And then Zachary Kreger came out because he was also there at the Sony panel to talk about Resident Evil. He's here to talk about Weapons, which drops in August. He described it as twisty-turny, and it's a film that unravels and reinvents itself as it goes along. This trailer blew the roof off. People say it looks terrifying, and it could be another potential hit like Barbarian. So they moved right into F1 with Joseph Kosinski and Jerry Bruckheimer coming out on stage, and they did a quick victory lap for Top Gun Maverick, and they introduced F1 to the audiences. They both said this is the most authentic racing experience you'll have in a movie theater, and they showed the first 10 minutes of the movie followed by a sizzle reel, and that was all. Everybody was just like, oh, this will probably make Top Gun money, because the first 10 minutes were that good.
I can't wait, because we are both big fans of Top Gun Maverick, and Jerry Bruckheimer, Joseph Kosinski is gold.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, when he was out for Mission Impossible, he said he saw F1. He said he highly endorses it. He's like, I don't like talking about other people's movies because I gotta promote my other stuff. But he's like, Brad is a friend, Joseph is a friend, and that while they were making Interview with the Vampire, they would often race cars during downtime in New Orleans, because that's where they shot the movies, in New Orleans. So he's just like, yeah, you guys don't understand how special this movie is. I was like, all right, though.
All right,
let's hope so, because you also co-signed The Flash.
I was about to say, we all saw The Flash.
So the only movie that is not of this year that they highlighted after F1 was Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, which I've heard very, I'll put it mildly, mixed. And that's putting it mildly and positively. Mixed things. I've heard very mixed things. Jessie Buckley is the bride. If you guys don't know, the Bride of Frankenstein. This is apparently a mishmash of genre. So it is a gangster flick, a monster movie, a Victorian romance, and a musical, a punk rock musical. People say it looks batshit insane, shot for IMAX, and I find it funny that this movie is mildly, because they've been test screening this movie for a minute. Mildly, I'll put it mildly, it's been getting mixed responses at these test screenings, and I find it funny that I found out she originally pitched this to Netflix, and Netflix was like, no. So it's funny that Warner Brothers picked this up when Netflix, who greenlights any fucking dog shit on the face of the earth, and this cost $100 million apparently.
Yeah, for something that's this weird on paper, right? You can't afford to have mixed reviews, right?
Well, that's why it got punted. It was supposed to come out in October. Now it's coming out in March.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm here for batshit crazy, but the fact that Netflix passed on it is that's the biggest red flag.
So Warner Brothers Animation came out and they just showed off some movies. Apparently the head of animation said they are now committed to theatrical releases from the studio, both original works and pre-existing IP. The first trailer they showed was for Meet the Flintstones. So we're getting an animated Flintstones movie. John M. Chu is producing Oh, the Places You Go, which is based off the classic book and TV show. Margie Claus, which is about obviously Santa Claus adjacent. It's an animated film from Melissa McCarthy. Bad Fairies, an original musical from the writers of Six the Musical. And then Cat in the Hat, they got their first look, which will be coming out in February next year. Bill Hader came on stage and he showcased a early look and a trailer. That also, the people said it looks very, very promising. But they ended on the only other piece of, because there's only two things, and we'll get to it a little later, from DC. The first thing from DC during this whole WB presentation was Dynamic Duo, which is a hybrid between puppetry, CG, and traditional animation. And everybody's like, oh, this is insane. And it's like Spider-Verse, where it's going to be game changing. And Dynamic Duo follows, I can't remember if it's 2 Robins or 3 Robins, but it's a Robin movie.
Okay.
Also, they said without any hint of self-awareness, the teasers for the WB animated stuff open prominently with Bugs Bunny. And last but not least, DC took the stage, and there was a lot of hype about DC coming here because James Gunn's been talking about it, and they were just like, one of the things they wanted to highlight was the DC slate, and instead they only talked about Superman, and they only showed the extended look, which was put online. So, I mean, I saw the extended look before I went to see Minecraft again in 3D, and I'm be real with you, I was blown away because the trailer did nothing for me, but this extended look, I was just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer didn't impress me, but it gave me hope that this movie was about hope, right? And that's a vast difference from Zack Snyder's. But the extended look, it's real comic booky, right? And I dig that. Like, I dig that. I love the Fortress of Solitude coming out.
Yeah, like that shit rotates,
right?
That shit's cool.
I love the Superman robots.
Robots, yeah, where they're just like, oh, he's like, thank you for saving me, and he's like, no, we are just pathetic drones. We don't accept appreciation. That's funny.
Right. Yeah, like I think of all of the iterations of Superman, I think James Gunn may have cracked it.
A lot of people,
from what I see, from this, yeah,
a lot of people did not like this. They didn't like the fact that they didn't like Crypto, which I was just like, Crypto's acting like a dog with superpowers, so I don't see what the problem is.
Right.
Dogs do dumb shit like that. They didn't like the fact that Superman was screaming in pain, and I'm like, I don't know, man. He had a collapsed lung, ruptured spleen. He said he had internal damage to his organs. Like, he's going under medical treatment. I mean, without anesthesia.
And all right, and just to out nerd the nerds with this, Superman doesn't really know pain, right? So when he is in pain, it is a totally new fucking sensation. So of course he's going to scream out, right?
I'm taking a guess this is from a kaiju because there's lots of kaiju because this is followed by a sizzle reel. And there's lots of kaiju action in this. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Um I find it funny that the very next scene, the first scene in the sizzle reel, is he flies past LexCorp Tower and Lex gets on the phone. He's like, "He's back!" That shit had me dying because James Gunn said this scene is pretty early on in the movie, like it's in the first 15 minutes of the movie. I was like, all right, cool. So he's already doing Superman shit by the time this
Right.
movie started. Rachel Brosnahan confirmed that Lois and Clark are already in a relationship by the time this shit starts, and I'm like, thank fucking God we are not running through the motions again.
I don't need another origin. Like everybody knows how Superman became Superman, right?
Right, and
Like,
I think and one thing the sizzle reel did better for me is the Superman chant works a little better in the sizzle reel because it's a lot sloppier, and it works when it's a lot off key like that. Plus, the music, I find the music better too because I wasn't appreciating the rock version of John Williams's Superman March. Just use it. Just fucking use it.
right, right.
With that said, Jeff, let's get into your watches.
Okay. So we've had so many screenings. I haven't really watched all that much, but I'm going to get into some highlights. So on HBO Max, they have this new docu-series called Hollywood Demons. And it's about, the underside, like the of Hollywood. And the takeaway from the first 3 episodes I've watched are everything that you enjoyed comes at the cost of someone else's pain. Pretty much. So the first episode was on Stephen Collins, from Seventh Heaven, and how he was a child molester adjacent, right? Because he was America's dad for a good 7 seasons on that Seventh Heaven show on the WB. That was the only thing that actually made WB a hit back when it first started. And he was a self-proclaimed, like when I say molester adjacent, like if he had 5 more minutes in a room with one of his victims, it would have happened, right? And so that episode was all about his bullshit and shenanigans. The second episode was on child stars, and fuck, man, if you are in a sitcom as a child, when they cancel the show, they automatically should just give you therapy, right? And they go into like the psychology of why these kids go off the rails once they're off the show, but like it is fucking horrible what these kids went through on set, but also once they leave, right? These are things you don't think about when you're listening to the laugh track. And the third episode, which just dropped last week, was on Power Rangers, right? And the bullshit that went on behind the scenes with that, like they were pretty much slave labor. All those Power Rangers, they made $700 an episode.
Oh, that ain't shit.
Right. 700, and if they tried to like negotiate a raise or anything like that, they just got rid of them. That's why there were so many Power Rangers.
Right. The only constant was Tommy.
Right. Oh, and they get into Tommy's story about what led up to his suicide and everything like that. But yeah, if you loved Power Rangers in the 90s through whenever, just know that these actors went through horrible experiences for little to no money. So if you like docudramas, if you like true crime adjacent, if you like to know about Hollywood, Hollywood Demons. I can't wait for the rest of the season, but it's it's a tough watch, but it's really, really fucking interesting, and it makes you reevaluate uh, these shows that you grew up with. Moving on from that, I've been meaning to talk about this for weeks. I just keep forgetting it. So last year, John Mulaney did a 6-episode TV show called Everybody's Live in LA. And it was a talk show that was done live on Netflix, and it was absolutely batshit crazy. Well, it's back, right? It's renamed Everybody's Live, and it's the same concept. John Mulaney, every Wednesday, he hosts a talk show, and it is the weirdest fucking thing you've ever seen. It is absolutely hilarious. I'm a big John Mulaney fan, and this is John Mulaney being able to do whatever the fuck he wants, right? So if you have Netflix, you don't have to watch it live, but if you do watch it live, you can call in, and if your story's weird enough, he'll put you on air. But yeah, if you like John Mulaney, if you like talk show, variety show adjacent shit, this is for you. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait for the rest of the season. Moving on from that, in honor of Val Kilmer's death, I rewatched Tombstone. And look, it is cheesy 90s Western, but it still hits, right? It's like tough guys talking tough. It's shot like all of those 90s movies, Dutch angles, fucking glass on the glossy lens flares, real film, and Val Kilmer fucking kills it. As an adult watching it, the story is kind of mid, but the acting on point, right? It's what you kind of want from a Western. It's tough guys talking tough, going into gunfights, and the good guys are the good guys and the bad guys are the bad guys, right? You know what you're getting when you're watching this type of Western, and based on a true story. Yeah, Tombstone. It's on Hulu. It's one of Val Kilmer's best roles, and that's saying a lot because Val Kilmer was one of America's greatest actors, while he was alive. Moving on from that, Gold and Greed, The Hunt for Fenn's Treasure on Netflix. It's a documentary about this old man who buried $1 million worth of jewels somewhere in middle America. He then invited anyone who could to find it. And as you would think, things go fucking off the rails. Like, white people will do fucking deadly shit just because, right? It's only 3 episodes long, hour an episode. It's amazing to see the lengths that people will go to, not to work, but also to follow a fantasy, a dream, whatever like that. It's both inspiring and depressing at the same time. All right. Yeah. So Green Gold, it's another Netflix original documentary. It seems, that's the thing that they have the most success with besides Stranger Things, right? Moving on from that, also on Netflix, the new season of Black Mirror started. I've only watched the first episode, and boy, is it a doozy. And the great thing about Black Mirror, that's it's always been like this. It is 30 seconds away from where we are today, right? The first episode is about a subscription service for your brain, right? So, brain damage victims, they can get parts of their brain replaced, and their consciousness is put into the cloud. And then just like a cell phone service, you have to keep paying for these add-ons, right? So if you want to leave your town, you have to re-up, right? You have to extend your plan. If you want to um, be up for more than 8 hours, for more than 8 hours a day, then you have to go to the Premium Plus plan, right? And it reminds me of all these cell phone contracts and all of these various subscription services we have now, right?
Because
Like,
dating apps even have subscription services.
yeah, right. See, there you go, right?
And I watched a YouTube video. Some dude tried it. He's like, let me see if I have more success paying for this as an experiment. And
right.
he spent $100 on 3 dating apps for a week on each one.
Mm-hmm.
Same results as the free version.
Right. You know, if you don't got the game, you don't got the game. But so it this first episode, it's absolutely frightening because I could see a company doing this. I could see the medical industrial complex doing this shit, where you have to just you rent your organs, right? And if you can't pay, then you get shut down. Or if you want to have a better quality of life, you have to pay more. Like we're almost there. So Black
I
Mirror,
mean, we're deporting citizens, bro.
yeah,
Like a judge ordered an American citizen to come back, and they are not doing it. I'm like, bro, nah. You have to bring an American citizen back. Like if the Supreme Court and a judge is like, yo, this is goes against everything, and they're just like, well, no.
yeah, things are going off the rails. It is a dumpster fire. Anyone who's listening, re-up your passports.
Yeah, well, let's be careful because I just heard yesterday that the Agent Orange wants to absorb almost every single white European country into the United States. So that includes the UK, Ireland. He wants South Africa part of the US, Australia.
That'll go over real well.
I was
That'll
like,
go
oh,
over.
bro. I was like, okay, so you're straight up Adolf now,
Right,
and
that's some Hitler shit.
we are in World War III, and that means we're all dead because that means every country on Earth is either going to send planes and drones and missiles, and it's a
Right.
wrap.
Yeah, like at this point, I know China has a missile defense shield.
Oh yeah,
Right. I think like I'm gonna start learning fucking Mandarin because that might be the move. Yeah. So Black Mirror, I'm only at 1 episode in, but if it's as topical as it always is, it's going to be absolutely fucking terrifying. Moving on from that, do you want to do a joint on the Gemstones?
You do Gemstones. You
All
go
right.
ahead and just do Gemstones.
Gemstones. There's not really much to talk about. This is just building up. This has been one of the slowest seasons, right? They're taking their time deliberately because this is the last hurrah, right? This is the final season. So I don't mind them taking their time. This was a definitely a setup episode for how the rest of the season is going to play out. And I'm here for it. No dicks in this one. So
Yeah.
So this is the first episode this season without baby Billy showing his dick or just
But he's
random
still
dicks.
scheming.
Oh, he's still scheming. I'm going to put this out there right now as a theory. I think baby Billy's going to die before the end of the season.
I mean, yeah.
The way he's going through coke, and he's like a 70-year-old man. Yeah, it's not a good look. But Gemstones, hilarious as always. I'm sad to see it go, but I'm glad that it's going out on a high note. All right. And that's pretty much it for my watches.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is Lazarus, which is the new show from the creator of Samurai Champloo and most famously Cowboy Bebop. It finally aired I've only seen the first episode. The second episode debuted yesterday. I'll get around to it. I like it a lot. You're like, if you fuck with Cowboy Bebop, you're gonna fuck with this because it's just basically Cowboy Bebop on Earth set during when society's melting down because there's this miracle drug everybody took, and this miracle drug cured all this type shit. Little did we know there's a failsafe in there, and the dude who created the drug is like, yeah, y'all fucking suck. Like humanity has not gotten better, so I activated this thing in the drug we all took, and it's gonna kill everybody in 30 days. So in 30 days, humanity is done. So they get this criminal from this lady visits this criminal in prison and is just like, hey, how about you work with me and we can stop this? And he's just like, the fuck would I do that? And little did he know, he's like, by the way, this meeting, you just gave me a great reason to escape, and now I'm going to escape. So that's basically the whole episode. Like 15 minutes is his prison break, and it is just relentless until he gets captured. He thought this Boo Thang was gonna run up on him and be like, "Yeah, you're cute," and instead she used some hypnosis / taser thing on her phone and knocked this nigga out. And the episode ends up with the lady and this group of people who are like, yeah, we run a group called Lazarus, and we're gonna we know there's an antidote, and we're gonna get the antidote to save humanity, and you're gonna join us.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting setup. I mean,
Uh,
I saw the animation and it gave me big Cowboy Bebop vibes. So
just as violent as both of those shows. Also, the music is done by Kamasi Washington, who I absolutely love, and a couple of electronic music producer and a hip hop DJ named Bonobo.
oh really? Word? Bonobo.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see episode 2. Moving on from that, I want to get into the Wheel of Time. This is the 3rd season, and it fucking wastes no time. Like the first 15 minutes of the show, just action fucking packed, and I was just like, holy shit! And come to find out, I was like, bro, this has been 6 months since the season 2 finale, and it feels like it's only been 15 minutes. I was like, that's insane that they've been on the run for this long. I was like, okay. And they're doing all this action shit. Episode 4 is where I stopped. And episode 4, for those of you who watch the show, you'll see everybody's going through the wheel now. There's this part where they have to go to the City of Clouds, and the City of Clouds shows you the past, present, and future, and many different outcomes that the wheel has in store. So Rand, who is the Dragon Reborn, is looking at his destiny, and our main character, played by Rosamund Pike, who I can't think of her name right now, she's literally spinning in the wheel, seeing every million possibility outcome for herself, and all like 90% of them, I was like, oh, this is not gonna end well for you.
All right. I mean,
And it's filmed so uniquely, like the camera just keeps rotating over the action.
I mean, you've been talking about this show for, a couple of years, and I just don't have the bandwidth to jump on just because I want to give it my full attention. But
I'm this has better sound mixing, better production because they shoot on actual sets. All the creatures are costumes. I'm like, the budget on this show is fucking insane. Like, this has more production value than most movies. I'm like, damn, Amazon really dumped money into this fucking show. So I'm gonna watch the last 4 episodes this upcoming weekend, and hopefully not only does it stick the landing, but also gets a 4th season, because I know they said they want to do 8 seasons because there's 14 books, so they're doing like 2 to 3 books a season over the course of 8 episodes. So moving on, I'm going to talk about SNL. The past 2 episodes, John Hamm and Lizzo was this weekend. Last weekend, it was Brandy Carlisle, Elton John, and Jack Black. And that Jack Black episode was one of the best episodes of the season. It reminded me of Minecraft and how unhinged a lot of it was. Like the flaming hot preparation H. I was fucking wiping tears from my eyes.
Yeah, no, that's
the sex sketch. where they're all floating through the air singing that song.
Oh yeah. It was a weird episode, but unlike a lot of the weirdness that SNL tries to do, this one worked.
Yeah, you could tell a lot of this shit was written by Jack.
Mm.
So this week's like look, I will say for average SNL, John Hamm's episode was above average. Like it didn't hit all the time, but they did have some hitters.
Mm-hmm.
So like I got to give it to him. Like these past couple episodes were pretty strong. So next episode is not till May, and it's Quinta.
Oh, okay. That should be interesting.
I don't know. We'll see. Because her last episode, I was just like, eh. Speaking of, I'll get into the Abbott Elementary SNL, or not SNL, Always Sunny crossover, where the gang went to the school, and the reason they're at the school is because they have to do community service.
Yeah. I hated that episode.
I liked it. I liked that Dennis, every time the camera was on Dennis, he would run away. He's like, I cannot be on camera.
So, all right. The reason they did that is because when they do the Always Sunny part of it,
right,
it's going to follow Dennis and everything that he's doing.
All right. Well, I mean, I wish they aired these a little closer together, because the Always Sunny one's not till fucking like the fall.
Month.
It's next month?
I think it's next month, but it's still it was 5 months.
Yeah, man, it don't make no fucking sense.
Yeah, I didn't like this episode is because it didn't feel like either show, right? The gang wasn't nearly as vicious, right?
I mean,
and
it's network TV,
right? No, I get it, and like the Abbott Elementary crew wasn't nearly as smart, right? So it felt like it was forced. I mean, together. Hopefully, when we see the Always Sunny episode, it makes the both of them better.
I did like the pairings though. Like I like that the schemers, like the principal and fucking Dennis got together.
No, not Dennis. Mac.
Yeah, Mac got together. I like that Quinta was stuck with D, and they got along until D was trying to fuck
Greg,
old boy.
Yeah,
like fucking what's Danny DeVito's characters?
Frank
was
and
beefing with the janitor.
Yeah, those two weird fucks. And if you read articles about when they were in the writing room, apparently there was a whole entire storyline where Frank and Mr. Johnson, the janitor, knew each other in high school, right? And that's why they're beefing so hard now, is because they got like a long history together.
Yeah, well, I get why they cut it, because
100%.
You only get like 19, 20 minutes on network TV.
Right.
So, with that, I'm gonna end on two things. First thing I'm gonna end on is season 1 of the PITT. I finally finished the whole thing. It's 15 episodes. I did not expect to get this emotionally involved in this shit. Noah Wyle has a breakdown because every episode is a cliffhanger, and the cliffhanger leads to the next storyline that the next 2 or 3 episodes are going to cover. One of the storylines is Noah Wyle, earlier in the season, he sends his stepson off because he bought tickets to the Pittsburgh Music Festival. Well, lo and behold, motherfucking shooter shoots up that festival. So they have to shut down the hospital. Everybody who's in the ER has to be taken out of the ER. Completely out, so they can make way for the shooters. And they're spending 3 episodes dealing with this shit. Instead of him going to the music festival, it ends up being his stepson's girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And she catches a few of them bullets and does not make it, despite like half of one of these episodes, Noah Wile's working on her, and even the doctors are looking at him like, it's it's a wrap, but like we'll let you keep going. Like everybody understands why. And he finally calls it, and he has to tell his stepson, like, you couldn't save her? And that triggers his PTSD from COVID.
Mm.
And that's when I started crying, because homie, when it's the acting that Noah Wyle does when that PTSD kicks in, I was like, damn, bro, this got me, and I just started crying.
The only time I actually saw my father cry was a Noah Wyle episode of
ER.
ER, right? The dude, when he acts, when he like, because he picks his roles, right? Like he doesn't do a lot of work. He doesn't have to. Um, but when he's in it, like he is fucking locked in.
Yeah, man. I mean, the entire staff goes through a lot in this fucking season. Even the interns, where you're just like, can these guys catch a break? Like, Jesus Christ.
It's
15
ER.
hours they're in this hospital. So one of the storylines is the head nurse gets assaulted by a patient, because for the first like 8 episodes, this big burly dude screaming like, hey, so nobody gonna see me? And they're just like, we gotta take patients in order of severity, and your injuries aren't that severe. And it gets to the point where one of the doctors is like, yo, here's a note. You can leave, but here's a note saying that we discharge you. He's like, oh, this is just so you won't get sued, right? And they're like, I mean, you said it.
Right. I mean, yeah. Well,
And so the head nurse goes out for a quick cig, and he's like, oh, you're busy, huh? And just punches her in the fucking face. And I'm just like, nigga, this lady is 56 and literally less than half of your size, and you decide to haul off and just punch her so hard that her nose breaks and she's laid out. And this show is accurate, so apparently this happens in real life as well. By the end of the season, Noah Wyle goes to his stepson and says, hey, look, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And his stepson says, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck out of here.
Jesus.
Yeah. Season 2 is going to pick up 10 months after this first season. So this is set in the spring. Season 2 is going to be set in the summer during 4th of July weekend. The last episode also had me in tears because it's very emotional, very poignant, but also had one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life. And like talking about it now makes me want to fucking yak.
Is it
A lot of doctors were like, yo, you guys got to come see this. And they're like, what do we got to see? They're like, yo, you got to come see this. And one of the doctors is like, yo, just fucking tell me. I got other things to take care of. She's like, some girl stole some food off her brother's plate and decided to run up the stairs with a fork in her hand. They go see this. They go see this girl, and the fork has obliterated her nose and is stuck in her face. And they're taking pictures of it, laughing. And I'm just like, bro, I wanted to puke. And thinking about it now, I want to puke. I was like, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I thought the finger was going to be bad. This is worse than the finger. Like, even talking about it with you, Jeff, I want to fucking throw up.
And that's part of the reason I haven't jumped into this show, because everyone I know who's seen it says great things about it. But the fact that it is so graphic and so accurate, I don't know if I could handle that.
Yeah. I can only, like, I'm gonna watch this show's too good for me not to continue, because like the writing and the acting and the storylines are all just so well executed. It's literally just the medical shit. I'm like, if y'all had just toned down the medical shit, this would probably be an even bigger hit than it already is. Like, this would probably be as big as Game of Thrones, quite honestly. Shout out to Bryan Cranston's daughter. She's in this, and I was like, who's this hot blonde chick? And I Googled her. I was like, dog, that's Bryan Cranston's daughter? Holy shit.
I didn't even know he had kids.
Yeah, I didn't either. But yeah. I mean, and then I started looking at her. I was like, oh yeah, she does look like if Bryan Cranston was a woman and hot.
Now I'm going to have to look her up. I'm going to have to see what this is all about.
Now, to end on what you guys all probably want to talk about, I keep forgetting to talk about this one movie, so I'll save this one movie after what you guys really want to hear, which is the season 3 finale of The White Lotus. I gotta agree with everybody. Like, this season has kind of been a step down from the first two. I do, like, season 2 is definitely my favorite, but like, man, I thought this third season finale was unsatisfying.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
gotta
I
agree with everybody.
I mean it. I get it. I get people saying that, right? But I thoroughly enjoyed at least the escalation, right? The build up to that final 10 minutes, right? The stuff with the Ratcliffes,
Yeah, see
right?
that's the only thing I like because I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, fuck these people. But also, like, the only storyline that was properly satisfied, I thought, was the three
Uh,
bitchy best friends
right.
because there was that was the first time I've heard honest truth. Because once you get to a certain age in your life, that's what Carrie Coon's character said. I was like, that's the absolute truth.
Right. And if she doesn't get nominated for that monologue, there is no justice in the world. Right?
Right,
The way
right.
she delivered that with like you felt it.
I mean, because it's
Right.
true. It's true. Like, you guys won't understand until you hit your mid-30s about what she's trying to say.
Yeah. But uh, so yeah, okay. So I'll say that was the most satisfying of endings. Uh
Right. I don't think I'm not mad at the Rick shit. I know a lot of people are because of what happened to Amy Lou Wood, but like, I
I mean
mean,
she
he,
called it. She like
yeah.
she called it all the way through.
And I think the only thing that was corny was the reveal because we called that reveal. I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I
100%.
thought that was his dad, and then you were like, yeah, I was thinking that too. And lo and behold, like, everybody was so shocked by that, and I'm like, I don't see how y'all didn't
Right.
see that shit coming. Honestly, like that's why I was just like, I wish he didn't do that shit.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I am mad that the who's the fucking Scott Glenn, right? Why
Right.
didn't he just say
Yeah, I'm your
I'm your
dad.
fucking dad when he had the gun at his head in the episode before that, right?
Or when he came back to the resort and is just like, like, fucking talking down to him
Right.
and just calling him a loser. I'm like, I would have just been like, yo, listen, I'm your dad. I'm a terrible person.
Right.
You don't need me in your life.
Or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
man. Like, I was just like, yeah, I was like, yo, Mike White, man. Like, I even hearing Jason Isaacs talk about this season where he was just like, yeah, we all started as friends, and then by the time shooting was done, we all left as enemies because it was just that bad of a shoot. And I'm just like, and then hearing the composer who's done great work across these 3 seasons, Mike White has never liked any of the music he's done, which is insane. And now he's out.
hmm,
So season 4, they got to find a new composer. And I'm like, yo, so now Mike White is tripping on his own balls.
right. So he's finally reached that level of success, right? With this show that you can't tell him shit.
I'm thinking, like, let's see how White Lotus 4 season 4
Mhm.
is gonna be. But like, if it's just like this, either cancel the show or have somebody else take over, like True Detective. Like, they pulled True Detective away from Nick
Right,
Pizzolatto.
right. Like the first, like the fucking that second season. Even though I liked parts of it, yeah, that was someone who was just sniffing their own farts.
Yeah, yeah. And season 3, I thought was good, but a lot of people didn't fuck with season 3, and I get it. I get why you want to fuck with
Right.
it, but like, yeah, man, like, this is how I'm feeling about the White Lotus. I'm just like, man, and like, I'm really disappointed with the Belinda storyline and Gary. I'm just like, bro, you were doing porn chai how Tanya did you in
Right.
season 1,
Hmm.
and because you felt some type of way, you destroyed Alexandria Daddario's life. Like, she came to you and it was just like, hey, I need help. And because you got burnt by one white woman, you're like, oh well, fuck you.
Right. Right.
And now you're gonna fuck over somebody else who was in your situation. And this dude actually loves you. Like, you could see how heartbroken Porn Chai was. I was just like, you know what, man? If Gary, I hope this is it. Like, don't bring Gary back. Like, I'm like, if he's gonna get away with it, then he got away with it. Like, fuck this shit.
So to me, this felt like a building block season, right? This felt like they were set. Like Mike White is setting something up for the fourth season,
Uh,
right?
we'll see.
Because there are too many with the Belinda porn chai stuff, right? Open ended. Now she's rich, right?
Right.
Uh,
What about the guard at the gate? I forget what his name is. I was disappointed with him too.
Gaddock, yeah, right.
I was like, yo, leave that bitch behind, bro. Like,
I was
you are giving up your whole life and your whole belief system just because she's good looking and hot.
right.
Look, as y'all get older, looks fade, baby.
Like
Inner peace is everything. As you guys get older, you'll learn you want to protect your inner peace.
yeah, when she was like, "Oh, I thought you had more drive than that," right? I was like, "You bitch."
Yeah, you go, like gold digger.
Right? Like he cares for you. He is a good like he doesn't want to murder people, right? Like he doesn't want to shoot people. In what world is that not a good thing, right? So I get why people are upset by this season. I wasn't that upset with that last episode, even though, like you said, it felt like something was missing.
Yeah, man. Because the crazy thing about it is the first 2 seasons have been just as long as the regular episodes, an hour.
Mm-hmm.
This one's an hour and a half, and I was just like, how is this an hour and a half and so unfulfilling?
Right.
Also, the stupidity. I was like, yo, the brother's not gonna wash out the blender before using this shit.
Right. 100%.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I also didn't like the shit with the rat with the mom being so smiling when she's like, I can't. I was like, come on, like Mike White, man, you couldn't give Piper like a little more like credit to her, just have her be a vapid bitch, just like I was just like, this was a waste. That was also a waste. Glad he cut out the storyline that was supposed to happen between her and Belinda's son, which is there's supposed to be 10 minutes that they didn't have, and this is the only thing that got cut out. 10 minutes in which you find out she is a virgin and she decides to get rid of her virginity, and she goes with Zion. Now I remember his name, Zion, and goes and fucks Zion.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does nothing.
Yeah.
It fucking does nothing. Right.
Yeah. I was like, well, so you're trying to pay off the fucking the rapey brothers' suspicions.
Right.
Which I don't know why he's so hung up on his little sister's sex life in the first place.
Because they're all fucking incestuous, right? Like they have no fucking boundaries.
Well, that's all right, because they going back home to a surprise. I was like, wait till y'all.
That was a satisfying. That was a White Lotus ending, right?
See, I'm satisfied with that, because I was like, you know what? By the end of this, I was like, yeah, fuck all of you.
Yeah, all of them except for, honestly,
the kid,
Jason Isaac.
Nah, Jason Isaac. I'm like, yeah, fuck
right.
You too.
Like these people kept on putting on him the importance of their wealth, right?
Yeah, versus the family,
right? And at least he kind of found Buddhism, right? When he talked to the monk, right? He could kind of understand why his daughter would want to be there, right? He seemed like, besides the fact that he was going to annihilate his whole entire family, I think he's one of the only people who had some growth.
Well, before we move on, because we got to move on, to go back to the composer, he uploaded the full unedited 2.5 minute theme song for this season. And a lot of the complaints is people were missing the warbling. Well, apparently he said, you only have 1 minute and 10 seconds for the theme song. And he thought they would edit it's in there at the end. And he explained it. He's like, the whole vibe of this season is one big giant party that goes wrong. So he wanted, if you listen to the full thing and listen to what he says, he's like, I wanted this to build and build and build to the warbling, so that way it's like a beat drop.
Right.
So when that warbling comes in, the beat drop, that means it's just ominous. And it's in there if you listen to the full theme. And I was just like, yeah, why did they edit that out? They could have made 1 minute, 10 seconds with the warbling at the end.
Right.
And, well.
Yeah, well. Fall out with Mike White. It's...
I don't know what you're gonna do for the second season, because like so much of that music is now like tied to the show, like the warbling, which was missing from this season, the bloom, doom, doom. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
All right, Mike White.
I mean, we'll find out in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I heard the producers also didn't like the score too.
Really?
Yeah, look.
Well, all right.
Listen, I think we might be at the end of this show.
Right. Well, he had it planned for 5 seasons, right?
No, it was originally a miniseries.
Right, but once they gave him the second season, he was like, "I've got 3 more seasons in me," right?
I don't know. I really don't know. All right. So now I'm gonna real quick run through an indie film I saw, shot on 16 millimeter film, shot in Jersey. It's Jersey as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a psychological neo-noir called Gazer. It's about this woman who's gone through something traumatic with her husband. She lost custody of her kid, and now she listens to these tapes because she goes into this dream world where she just gazes at things and watches people, and she like in traditional noir fashion, she sees something she shouldn't have seen, and this woman is in trouble, and she enlists her help, and it just spirals out of control.
Okay.
While I like this movie, I think the ending is unsatisfying and a little abrupt, because I was just like, wait, there's still much more that we need to resolve here. Also, she makes dumbass choices throughout this movie, but it's worth a watch. Like, I like it, but like, keep that in mind.
Is it theaters, VOD? Where is it?
It's in theaters, limited release in theaters. These guys made it on a budget of $3 million. They raised $3 million by themselves and shot this over the course of a year because it took them that long. So they bought a phone booth and hauled around a phone booth in a pickup truck to shoot this shit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like the way they talk about making, I was like, yeah, that's indie film. Like, you guys just gotta roll up and just hope the police don't show up.
Right? They're fucking ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah. A lot of these people were professional actors, surprisingly. But they have the look of Jersey people.
So the professional so you were surprised that they were professional actors because of the performances, or just because they don't look like your traditional actors?
They don't look like actors. You know what I'm saying? And the performances are natural enough where I just like, oh, they just got their friends to do this, or local people. And I was like, oh, this is true to Jersey, bro. Like, everybody in here.
I'm kind of excited to see this shit.
Yeah, hopefully I could get these guys. It's a writing, directing duo. She co-wrote it and starred in it. He directed and co-wrote it, and they both produced it. Yeah, they would shoot it on weekends. So it took a year. They pulled the Nolan thing, or Nolan shot following on weekends over the course of a year.
I mean, look, I've been there. You know, like, it's fucking indie as fuck.
He said they even said, they're like, we made this because this is the type of movies we like to make. It is like the type of shit we grew up on, like this hard-boiled detective shit.
I mean, honestly, that's where we are now. For all these indie filmmakers out there, for anyone who wants to be a creator or whatever like that, make the movies that you want to see, not the movies that are going to sell.
Yep, and don't ask for permission. Just do it how you can.
Yeah, fucking, it's better to say I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just grab your, if the cops come, you just grab your shit and run.
Look, as long as you don't put sticks down in New York City, you don't need a permit. There's a
this was shot in Jersey.
No, but I'm just saying, like, these are the things you learn when you're indie as fuck, right? As long as you don't put sticks down, you don't need a permit, tactically.
Yeah, so like Gazer, I do recommend you check it out despite its flaws, and I am excited. Like, this is so well done. I am excited to see their next movie. Like, it does get surreal at points. Like, it is a noir, but also like the dream sequences and the flashbacks feel like they're straight out of a David Lynch film.
Okay.
And I remember during the Q&A, the director, they were getting feedback, and their DP was like, yeah, man, I love this entire thing, but if you don't want to use the flashbacks, that's okay too, until he saw the final cut.
All right, Gazer. I mean, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see a quality indie film, especially one that's fucking Jersey as fuck.
Yeah, so let's get into our main review.
We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, aka He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.